You're listening to Alcoholics Alive, where recovered members of Alcoholics Anonymous share their experience on how they live AA as a way of life. None of our participants get paid or speak for AA. Here are your hosts, Shank and Wayne. Welcome to Alcoholics Alive. We're grateful to be sober and grateful to be here this morning. That's some shrapnel for you, Shank?
Yep.
So last week we talked about don't drink no matter what. Did you accomplish that this week?
I did not drink, no matter what.
No matter what. All right, me either.
Nothing is bad though, so.
Yeah. Well, it's good to be sober. I know we joke around a lot, but there's a lot to be grateful for, and Alcoholics Anonymous works. So you don't actually have to not drink no matter what. You can actually be free of the obsession to drink, and you can have a relationship with God. Let's get right into it. What's our Upon Awakening reading today?
All right, we're on season 12, is that right? And episode 3.
That's right.
So our Upon Awakening today comes from the book Alcoholics Anonymous, pages 28 to 29. It's a 4th edition, 2001. And it says, further on, clear-cut directions are given showing how we recovered. These are followed by 43 personal experiences. Each individual in the personal stories describes in his own language and from his own point of view the way he established his relationship with God. These give a fair cross-section of our membership and a clear-cut idea of what has actually happened in their lives.
Could be one of the best, most important readings in the book.
Such a good reading.
It really is. I mean, it tells me a few things, that there are clear-cut directions in the book on how to recover. I mean, just in the last few weeks, I've heard people actually in meetings say that the instructions aren't in the big book, that they've got to use other material, which is just absolutely not true. So there's clear-cut directions showing how the first 100 people recovered from their hopeless condition of mind and body. And then, to me, the next one tells us what the actual solution is, which is establishing a relationship with God. That's actually the solution to our problem. And
breaking news.
That is breaking news in AA today. And it tells us to keep an open mind, and that it kind of ties into the third tradition, that we're all alcoholics. We may come from different backgrounds or lifestyles or whatnot, but it's telling us to keep an open mind and read and review all those stories, and to see if there's anything that we can identify with. It's a great reading.
I've been reading back through the stories recently, and there's some in there I don't remember. Can't believe it.
I know. Isn't that funny how that works?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some good ones in there. So basically, follow the directions in the book and try to establish a relationship with God. And you'll recover. That'll take you right into the promised land. Oh. All right. What's our topic today?
Our topic today is fake it till you make it.
Surprise!
Wow.
Quite the opposite from the reading we just
Yes.
read. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you all listening hear this in your groups or meetings you attend or in AA. I haven't heard it recently, but it seems like when it makes an appearance, I'll hear it for a month straight. And this is not just like a quote AA saying. I've heard this in many other groups of people, things that I've been a part of.
It's a good point. I have heard this outside of AA, at
Yeah.
work stuff and other, you hear it in churches a lot and other things. Now, I know when I got sober, I now I don't remember it much because I can't remember that far back, but I think I loved this one.
Okay,
I'm sure.
explain this to me.
Okay.
What are you faking and what are you making?
Well, it's a good question. I think early on when I was new, I think you heard it a lot of times in context with doubt about whether the program was going to work for you. You'd hear it in context of like God, that we come in here and a lot of us think we're agnostic or atheists, or we don't think that that God's going to work for us. So I think we're faking the idea that the program's going to work for us, and then I think making it, I don't know, I guess you're going to make it eventually when you come to believe that God can help you, or you come to believe that the program can help you. I mean, it sounds good,
It can be
and
encouraging, I think. Fake wanting to show up early to help set up or make the coffee, or uh, fake smiling when you're greeting. Um, what
yeah, it
else?
it it kind of ties into the idea of hey, we don't care how you feel, we care what you do, or
Mm-hmm.
don't trust your feelings, trust your actions. I think it kind of ties into that because we're all caught up in our feelings and our emotions. Well, when we're first sober, but probably even today sometimes. And take the right action regardless of how you feel. Kind of
So the,
ties into it.
yeah, this it acting as if.
That's it. Acting as if.
Hmm.
That's the other shrapnel that ties right into it.
Yeah.
Good catch. Yes. But I don't know. I mean, I guess it can encourage a new person that's, not sure what to do, or that's skeptical,
Hmm.
or if they don't feel like they can work the program. I mean, I guess it could be encouraging. I guess it could get newcomers into the habit of going to meetings and staying involved. I don't know. It's it's dumb to me
Do
actually.
you think
But
that this it kind of suggests being dishonest?
100%. Now, I think that's a good point. I think that most people that use it, or that have used it for new people as actual a suggestion, probably would refute that, and they would say, well, why does it matter as long as the person stays sober? But I think it does in a real sense. It's a form of dishonesty, isn't it?
Well, I think probably where I don't know, and in working with people, new or not new, it's kind of like recently for myself, I've been trying to figure out how I can continue to grow in my relationship with God, and so encouraging other people to do that as well. And when my sponsor will say, "Okay, well, where is God in this?" or "Where can you grow spiritually?" that just that doesn't hit me somewhere where I think I'm being scolded, but for other
Hmm.
people it may. So I think it's kind of like this fake it till you make it. Well, just act as if you're spiritual, get up and do a prayer or meditate even if you don't mean it, and kind of pretending to be
Yep.
spiritual, which is not like a dig. It's just, hey, at some point you need to cross on over and actually start believing what you're praying or meditating or doing it earnestly.
Yeah. So while you were saying that, it actually hit me that the whole comment or the whole slogan is actually a misnomer. Because the reality is, if you're taking an action, a spiritual action, whether you believe it or you're so-called faking it, you're actually doing it, so you're not faking it, right? I mean, think
Well,
about that for a minute.
yeah.
But I guess it could lead people to like pretend that they're doing stuff, or it kind of can encourage like casual recovery or like surface level type stuff. I mean, we didn't drink casually, so
I
we
didn't.
shouldn't recover casually. And so I guess it could lead into that a little bit.
Well, and two, it kind of, I think I personally, after I got sober, was introduced to Alcoholics Anonymous, no matter where I was, whether it was in my first, year or so or after, um, when I was told to ask for help and to not make decisions based on self or not make decisions if I wasn't sure about them. I mean, still to this day, if I'm chairing my home group, I'm going to touch base with some people and say, hey, the
Yeah.
topic is this. Like, what do you think about that? I was going to read out of this pamphlet or out of the big book or um, whatever. So sometimes I think it can kind of prevent people from being vulnerable or asking for help. Like, you're supposed to just know. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you've been sober X amount of time, so you should just know what to do and just do it with confidence or faking it.
Mm-hmm. My sponsor says even the Pope, when the Pope wakes up in the morning, he runs stuff by like three or four people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I find a lot of
um,
freedom in that. Like, it's not faking it.
well,
I'm going to
yeah,
touch base with people to make sure that I'm where I need to be, my head is where it needs to be. And sometimes I get better suggestions or
yes,
you know,
yeah, yeah. Seeking counsel. I mean, that's not what we would call it, but talking to people about stuff is wise.
hmm
Yeah, that's in the Proverbs. Yeah, yeah. Many counselors is a wise person has many counselors. So,
hmm
yeah. Um, well, I think I've got a little new understanding of this one. Because people really, so let's just say you ask a guy to come help you sit up at a meeting. He doesn't want to, but he does it anyway. He's not faking it. I mean, he's actually showing up and doing it, but we would call that faking it till you make it.
Probably.
It doesn't make any sense. Or you ask a
Okay,
person to
so
read
so
how,
so
uh,
another one is go to AA meetings until you want to go to AA meetings or
oh
something. What is
yeah,
that one?
that's very similar. Yeah, go to meetings until you want to go to meetings. I don't know. There's a lot of goofy shrapnel out there. Well, so I think it probably in my mind we're not keeping or scrapping stuff, but I would have to probably scrap fake it till you make it.
Okay,
Um,
so here's a reading from the book Alcoholics Anonymous,
okay.
page 73. More than most people, the alcoholic leads a double life. He is very much the actor.
God, that ties in perfect.
hmm
Yeah. So basically, being an actor or living a double life is really what gets us into trouble.
hmm
So faking it till you make it kind of supports living a double life. I would think the book would tell us we've got to stop doing that.
Well, it
So,
tells us, page 58, that those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely give themselves to this simple program.
well, again, people wonder why folks relapse. Well, you just answered the question. Because we don't completely give ourselves to this simple program. Those are the folks that don't recover. It'll later tell us that we relapse if we don't grow spiritually or enlarge our spiritual life. But and then I think right under this reading, Shank, it talks a lot about being honest. So if we're not honest and don't really change, we're probably not going to stay sober. So I can give myself completely to the program and try to take some simple actions regardless of whether I'm feeling it or not. So
Well,
you
and
can't fake that.
that's because, page 83, the spiritual life is not a theory, we have to live it.
Boy, these things tie right into this statement, don't they? So they all refute it, right? They all basically dispel the myth that you can fake it till you make it. So you got to live a spiritual life. That's not a theory.
And that doesn't mean being perfect all the time or feeling connected all the time
That's
or
right.
what I love about Alcoholics Anonymous, and I don't know, I'm just in this season of like, I love everything in AA right now, even the bad meetings, if you will, or, people who you just wish that they would just like get it, committees, all this different stuff. Like, I'm in my season of gratitude for
Yeah,
all of it.
it's a good place to be.
And but that doesn't mean that you feel like you're walking hand in hand with your higher power every second of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really a trap in AA. I actually gave a little bit of a talk on this a few weekends ago at a thing where people think that the goal with all this is to feel good, and that the goal is to have this deep connection all the time with their higher power. And if they don't feel good, and if they don't have this connection constantly, then they're doing something wrong, or there's something not right. And my goodness, that's not what it's about. We're human. We're never going to rise above that. And we try to do the best we can each day. And if you screw up, you got a step to help you with that. And if you're not connected, there's steps to help with that. The solution in that, though, is not gazing at your belly button for 3 or 4 hours a day. It's actually going out and serving
Yes.
people and situations, and just having this kind of attitude of service and of being helpful and getting out of ourselves. So the spiritual life is not a theory. We have to live it.
All right. So everybody stay with me here. I think I found, maybe because we are a Three Legacy podcast, we have studied the steps, the traditions, and the concepts. So I
Yep.
believe I have found a tradition reference and potentially a concept reference to help dispute this, if you will. All right. For the tradition, we have tradition 1. This is from the long form of the tradition. And it says, each member of Alcoholics Anonymous is but a small part of a great whole. AA must continue to live, or most of us will surely die.
So our survival depends on the group or the AA as a whole living. And that requires a lot of actual action and authenticity and honesty.
Yeah, not
And
like pretend spirituality.
I love that term.
So
We got to start using that. That's right though. Pretend spirituality.
yes. And listen, this is not religious. So it's not showing up to a church on Wednesdays and Sundays. If you do that, then that's great too. But what I've always loved about Alcoholics Anonymous is that, you can have your higher power, you can have your spiritual life, and so long as it's not a doorknob or a person, it's something bigger than yourself, you're on the right track.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think most people, if you stay sober long enough, I heard this recently, it's hard to stay an atheist if you stay in AA and you stay sober long enough. Some might dispute that, but
It was one of the greatest lines. We heard that Friday night.
oh yeah, is that where? Yeah,
That
it was
hit me
great.
kind of like when the other guy said that unless you've taken the 12 steps and have helped somebody else take the 12 steps, you've not done AA.
That's right.
When the other guy said that Friday night, it hit me. It was like I think that's a pretty accurate statement.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, I
So
guess.
if each member is but a small part of a great whole, faking it till you make it, not helpful.
Not helpful. No. Now I'm curious. So it ties into that long form as tradition one for sure. I'm curious to see what you got on the concepts, though, Shane.
All right.
Uh,
For the concept,
All right.
we have concept IX,
Oh, number 9.
number 9.
Okay.
This is from the long form. And it says, good service leadership at all levels is indispensable for our future functioning and safety. Primary world service leadership, once exercised by the founders, must necessarily be assumed by the trustees.
Great reading. It kind of similar to the long form of tradition one, with its kind of implication. So it's talking about you were talking about faking spirituality or fake or pretend spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
This is like faking confidence.
Mm-hmm.
You really can't fake confidence,
Right.
right? You either have it or you don't, and that shows up again, not how we feel, but what we actually do.
And ideally, at all levels of service in Alcoholics Anonymous, you're guided by the steps, the traditions, and for this, the concepts.
Yeah.
And so within that, you would think, if you are an alcoholic trustee and non-alcoholic, but alcoholic specifically, then you would think, in order to be a good service, have good service leadership, that you would have a relationship with God, with a higher power.
Yeah. Yes. And real leadership doesn't posture,
That's true.
it participates. Right? So if we're posturing, that is kind of faking it. It's kind of being disingenuous. So we get better by participating.
Not faking participation.
That's right.
Which goes back to, let's say the home group, and when people say, I went to the bathroom and I was elected the GSR, or, whatever, the grapevine rep, it's kind of like, listen, I know that happens all the time, and I know people who have stayed sober, and who have done that, and really, that was their push to be serious, but there are just as many people that were just checking the box.
Yes.
And so it is vitally important at the home group level even that people are informed and know what's going on. And there's a lot of personal responsibility in that.
A lot. Yeah. That's one of the things that's disappearing, I think, in AA is personal responsibility for stuff. And lately, I've just used this term casual. It's just, everybody just has this casual approach to stuff.
Until
And,
you're talking about money.
well, there you go.
And then you have to rehash things you've been talking about for the last year.
This will happen. We relive everything in AA every 2 to 3 years.
Yes, I have
Yeah.
noticed that you are right about that.
Yep.
Y'all
And we
heard
gotta,
it here.
and we got to retrain
Jay
everybody.
Wayne is right.
Hey, write that down. Actually, I got it on recording. We got it on recording. We don't need
And
to write
I
it down.
do still ask him to rehash things.
All right. Shank, those are good tie-ins with the tradition and the concept. I'm thinking that fake it till you make it probably is not very helpful when it comes to recovery.
Well, and I think too, it's just kind of more like participate even if you're uninformed kind of deal. And if you feel uninformed, or if you feel like you're faking spirituality or pretending spirituality, it can end like right
Yeah,
now. And that doesn't mean taking a drink.
that's right.
There's so many people willing to help, and you can explore religion or you can explore different meditation practices or ways to connect with a higher power, God, starting right now. You can do that.
Yep, that's right. Right now. The other thing that this does is it's kind of a weak approach, and I don't think it instills confidence in people.
Yeah.
Instead of saying fake it till you make it, say no, come with us, come show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, read the traditions at the beginning of the meeting, even though you're scared to death. That's good. That's, I mean, yeah.
And how
So
many times do you hear someone read and they're shaking? And at least for me, it takes me back my first home group. You had to get up on this huge podium that was like lifted up. You had
scary
to step up there, and there's, 75
microphone.
people. There's a microphone. I just remember being like, rarely have we seen a person fail. And it's
Yeah, you're
funny to look
afraid.
back on that.
Yep, afraid to look up. Well, you can't fake your way into recovery. You can't fake your way into a relationship with God. You can't fake your way into freedom. You want to move on to living sober shrapnel?
All right. Living Sober Shrapnel. This is our segment of lore, myth, and sayings from the booklet Living Sober. We're still kind of in the chapter here that is talking about different types of meetings. So our first Living Sober Shrapnel is AA slogans.
Okay.
So this is a descriptor of step meetings. And it says many AA groups hold weekly meetings at which one of the 12 steps of AA program is taken up in turn and forms the basis of the discussion. AA's 12 traditions, the 3 legacies of AA slogans, and discussion topics suggested in AA's monthly magazine, The Grapevine, are also used by some groups for this purpose. And that's from page 78.
Okay. So it's basically saying that groups will use the steps, the traditions, the 3 legacies of AA. Interesting that he used that term instead of saying 12 concepts.
Yep.
And AA slogans for their discussion topics.
Now, are AA slogans the 3 that are in the book Alcoholics Anonymous?
That's a good question. You know, I had a group ask me one time, I think I've mentioned this before, they wanted me to give a talk on slogans. And first I was surprised at the group that actually asked me to do that. And I had the same question, well, which ones do you want me to talk on? So there were 5 of them. There were the 3 in the book, and then there's 2, I guess, that the Grapevine publishes. I think But for the Grace of God and Think, Think, Think were included. Along with, was it Live and Let Live, Easy Does It, First Things First.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they make very good AA meeting topics. They just get goofy. So, have you ever done a meeting on a slogan?
I don't think so, but I was going to some pretty goofy meetings for several years. I already had, I've always had a very strong home group. But listen, I used to go to 7 or 8 meetings a week, and with the idea of like I go to a goofy meeting to try to get sponsees and bring people back to my home group and things like that. So I don't think so, but it's not out of the question, okay? Like, I very well could have.
What about acceptance is the answer? Is that a slogan?
It should be considered a slogan, and
Shrapnel for sure.
I can't be sure, but there is a good chance that I've chaired a meeting and used acceptance as the answer.
Oh, I know I have. My first 5 years sober, I'll guarantee you I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was a wizard on that. Anyway, I think I'm going to scrap this reading.
It's out of here. Our next Living Sober Shrapnel is Applications of the Basic AA Program. Wow! And this comes from page 78 also. This is the 55th printing, 2024, if I didn't say that. And it says, in conjunction with the books Alcoholics Anonymous and 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, step meetings afford perhaps the most easily grasped insights into the understanding of the fundamental principles of recovery in AA. These sessions also furnish a wealth of original interpretations and applications of the basic AA program, showing how we can use it not only to stay sober, but to enrich our lives. So does the basic AA program, is that saying that there are levels to it, and if you're using the basic AA program, okay, then you can share that, you know? Or is this saying like the basic simple program of AA?
It's a good question. It's a good observation. I was thinking the same thing. I suspect Barry's probably thinking there's some levels to it, but I don't know that. It kind of implies that a little bit, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Like, hey, if you just want the basics, then read the book and go to a meeting that's using the 12 by 12. But if you want higher level recovery, I got something else for you, but I'm not going to tell you what it is right now. The other thing that I'm not completely on board with is he's saying that the 12 by 12 is the part of the original interpretation. I don't think that's accurate. I mean, I know AA was still very young when that book was written, but to me it's more of Bill's kind of attempt at watering it down, or his attempt at saying that you don't actually have to believe in God, and you don't have to believe that you have alcoholism as an illness. And I think he was trying to keep up with some other AA members that were getting a little more notoriety than him when he wrote it. But anyway,
I do like how he says, like, showing how you can use it not only to stay sober, but to enrich our lives.
I do too.
I do like that line.
Yep. Do you think he should have included the 12 by 12? Or are you neutral on that one?
I don't love the 12 by 12.
Yeah, me either. If you pulled that, huh?
I mean, it is, quote, AA approved literature, and it was the, quote, companion book, if you will, or still is, to the book Alcoholics Anonymous.
Yep.
It's interesting. Well, okay, I won't get off into this too much, but it's interesting how people. The 12 by 12 is much harder to understand.
Way harder to understand.
People
There's
that
no
think.
doubt.
I've heard someone said to me recently, well, it's written very plainly. And I'm like, in what world?
It's not. Hey, and listen, now we've read this thing millions of times, and we actually attend a meeting on Sundays where it's read once a month. Mm-hmm. And there's multiple people in there. When it's read, we're all looking at each other like scratching our heads like, what is he trying to say?
Yeah.
It's not easier than the big book. It's not clearer than the big book. It's more confusing, actually.
Well, and in my first several years, I would choose a reading from the 12 by 12 to chair a meeting, just to sound like I was further along in my sobriety or something. Like, look, I'm going to read from the 12 by 12.
Yep. There's some good stuff in there for a meeting topic.
For sure.
For sure.
I do like how in the new printings they put the long form of the tradition after the tradition. So there's my plug for the 12 by 12.
See, there's an actual improvement on a piece of literature.
Yes.
Yes. Doing that.
I give it a 10.
Yep. I'm scrapping it.
It's out of here.
All right.
All right, so our last Living Sober Shrapnel. This is page 79. You're going to like this one. King size AA gathering.
God, I love it. That is awesome.
This says state, regional, national, and international AA conventions and conferences attended by that is the header here, the chapter. State, regional, national, and international AA conventions and conferences.
Oh, okay.
Attended by anywhere from hundreds to more than 50,000 AA members, often accompanied by their families. These king-size AA gatherings usually are weekend affairs consisting of many kinds of session.
So the reading is talking specifically about state, regional, national, and international conventions and conferences.
Correct.
Okay. King-size AA gatherings. Listen, I don't even have to discuss this one much more. I love it.
Well, you've been to all of those king-size AA gatherings, eh?
I have. Mm-hmm. Yep. Attended by anywhere from hundreds to more than 50,000 AA members, often accompanied by their families. Weekend affairs consisting of many kinds of session. I mean, it's an accurate statement.
It is.
I don't know how unless you just don't like the term king-size AA gatherings. I guess that would offend some people today.
Well, you could change it to queen size or...
Hey, we're going to a queen size gathering this weekend.
You can call it a double wide.
Double wide size. Yeah.
In our realm, that's
super size.
Super size.
Yeah. Double wide would work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who was that we heard speak that said, did you hear that? He said, yeah, I grew up in a trailer. He says, some people called it a modular, but it wasn't modular. It was a trailer.
Yes. Who? What? God, that was awesome.
Oh my goodness. Hey, listen. I think I'm gonna keep this one.
All right, we're keeping it. King size AA gatherings.
So listen, if you've never been to a king size AA gathering, you need to go. Check it out.
Look up your area conference and let them know this is king size AA.
Listen, we could probably pull this off. One of the conferences we're involved with, we probably should put this on the flyer somewhere. Huh?
That's a great idea.
You know that the Southeastern Regional Conference used to come here every 2 years or every 4 years. And Dave C. coined the term the granddaddy of them all. Did you know that?
No.
Have you ever seen that? It's on the flyer.
No.
They don't do it anymore, but it actually said it on the flyer. It says the granddaddy of them all.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
All right. Hey, we appreciate y'all listening to us today, and we don't recommend faking it till you make it. We recommend establishing a relationship with God through the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous and becoming free.
Freedom.
Thanks for listening. If you have a comment, suggestion, or just need help, you can email Shank and Wayne at freedom@alcoholicsalive.com. Remember, we're recovered members of Alcoholics Anonymous, but we do not speak for Alcoholics Anonymous, nor do we get paid. Join us next week for another great episode.